Scott from Vision Law's first two webinars did not perform. The first one, we only had 4 people show up and none of them booked calls. The second one, we had 22 people show up and still none of them booked calls. And initially on the first 2, Scott was not a great presenter, but he kept showing up. He kept practicing, he kept watching his webinar, he kept refining it. And then on the 3rd webinar, he booked a call. The 4th webinar, he booked 2 calls. And then on the 5th webinar, he booked 5 calls. Now, today we are going to be breaking down exactly how many of those turned into retainers, how many of those actually converted. And this is for you, whether you are a B2B professional service provider, law firm, accountant, financial advisor, CFO advisory, or even a marketing agency. Any B2B service-based business, this can apply for, but especially if you are a law firm. Let's dive into the video. Hey everybody, very excited for you to join us today. We're going to be breaking down how webinars can help employment lawyers as well as other attorneys who are targeting B2B clients or businesses as clients. And we're going to be interviewing the one, the only, I'm not going to try to pronounce his last name. I'm not going to embarrass myself or him.
Good. Shibayama.
There we go, Mr. Shibayama, Scott Shibayama from Vision Law. Welcome.
Thank you.
Excited
Great to be here.
Yeah, excited to have you. So, in what context did you work with Quantum Scale?
The whole webinar series, you guys put me through the same system that I use now, which got me to be your client. And I thought it was a really good system. What
did you like about it? What stood out to you throughout the process?
Yeah, I've done pretty much everything under the sun marketing wise, right? Including live webinars, and mostly they were legal educational type webinars. And my opinion of those sort of webinars is they just don't work, right? I mean, you attract a lot of viewers, but they get the information, that's great, but it's not geared towards closing any deals, right? And so this particular webinar, start to finish, I like the fact that we get a email list, right? In my case, 160,000 small business owners' emails, owners of businesses, their emails, and we're dropping the webinar directly on their Google Calendar or their calendar, right? Which is how Quantum Scale attracted me. I see this thing on my calendar, says, are you interested in scaling your business, basically? And I'm like, hell yeah. I mean, because that's what every business owner wants to do, right? Scale their business. And so I thought and then when I watched the webinar, it wasn't just educational, right? It was more like, if I can call it an infomercial, right? Where you're actually demonstrating the product, or in this case, the service, and basically educating, but in the process of educating, actually selling to get somebody to sign up at least for a free consult, right? I mean, which is what every lawyer is trying to do, is get the phone to ring, email to come in, maybe not give a free consult. That might be unique to me. I know most lawyers want to just charge a retainer for the first call, but I don't believe in that. I figure, hey, let's educate first, try to get the client to bite second. And so I like the whole process, right? We get this list, we put it on the calendar, people show up for the webinar. The whole process in creating the webinar was very slick, very smooth in my view. I created a pretty good webinar because it's converting. So we get people to view the webinar, but more importantly, people are booking calls to have the free consult with me in terms of trying to scale. And by the way, scaling one particular part of my business, it's monthly flat rate clients we're trying to get. And we do a lot of litigation defense, but right now that's like 90% of our revenue. And I want to flip it around. I want the flat rate clients, monthly flat rate clients, they pay a sum every month until they cancel, right? So it's a subscription-based model. You get that monthly recurring revenue. I want that to be 90% of the revenue and 10% of the revenue to be litigation defense. So start to finish, it's just been phenomenal. What attracted me was everything I just said.
Talk to me about how many webinars you've run and how many deals have you closed?
Just getting started, really, actually. I think, we've run 5 or 6 webinars. We're starting to go to every other week. And the last couple of webinars, master classes, if you will, 8 phone calls. Pretty much we closed all of them except for one. We're starting to ramp up the master classes to twice a month, right? Every other week. And try to get maybe 40 to 50 viewers. And by the way, it's been great because now I've got a recorded webinar and I don't have to I'm getting rusty on the script. So hopefully I don't have to do it live again anytime soon, because I'm going to have to start from scratch. But we recorded a webinar and got that process down. And so basically, if we can get 50 viewers and then basically 10 to 15 people booking a call with me every month, and that's aggressive, but I feel like we can probably get to the goal of 10 a month. And then that way we're adding 10 subscription clients, and based on my model, average price, let's call it $599 a month, times 10. I mean, you can do the math. And if we can keep doing that month in and month out, then, we're starting to my goal, which is reversing the revenue stream from litigation defense work to more monthly flat rate clients.
How many hours a month are you now spending of your time actually on the funnel?
I'm ready to go and make sure it's all working, maybe an hour and a half per webinar. But mostly it's the follow-up, right? So the book calls, those are an average 30 minutes to 45 minutes each. So if I'm doing 5 of those after every webinar, or that's the best we've done so far, 5 calls after a masterclass, what is that? 7, I can't do the math fast enough, but it's under 5 hours a time, right? So my estimate is probably 4 to 5 hours a webinar, and then if you do follow-up, like some of the other folks that maybe didn't book a call, they answered some of the questions that get asked of them during the webinar, right? Do you see the value in this? They answer yes, but they don't book a call. And following up on that can take a lot of time as well. But, it's really up to you, right? If it's working with the inbound calls, so I estimate it's probably taking me 10 hours doing this, but the return is well worth it, right? If you can close the clients.
Tell me, obviously, we've talking a lot about your successes. We've talking a lot about the highs, which I appreciate. And for those of you that are watching this, you're probably more skeptical. What were some of the doubts that you had in the process? Talk to the audience a little bit about maybe some of the skeletons, or what did you face resistance to in the process? What were those doubts, and then how were those doubts resolved?
I mean, I had full belief in the product or the system to begin with. Otherwise, I wouldn't have spent the money to do it. So I can't say that from a system overview is exactly what I was looking for. But I guess bottom line is doubt is if it would really work. Because I've done everything under the sun marketing wise, right? And we're trying to attract a very certain clientele, like a clear mindset is proactive, right? They have to be interested in preventing the problem in the first place. And those clients are hard to find. My estimate out of 100 small business owners, maybe only 5% are proactive, right? So, you get this long list, and sure, you do this masterclass, but are people really going to book calls with you? So that was a big doubt, right? And of course, the first 3 webinars, nobody booked the call, no doubt because my webinar wasn't that great. But, we kept doing it, kept practicing. So I think it was the 4th webinar, now the 5th one. The 4th one got recorded, and then we just ran the 5th one with the recording, with that process, and it's turned out great. The other doubt I had was, whether my virtual assistant would be as awesome as she is. It's pretty amazing. They're all out of Colombia, so that's another doubt, right? They're virtual, number 1. They're in a foreign country, number 2, and this person has been absolutely fantastic. I don't think I could find, a virtual assistant or even a live assistant here in the United States. I would come close to being as good as this virtual assistant is. So that was another doubt. Me being a lawyer, not a sales guy, I have a lot of doubt about, follow up, right? And Scott knows this. He's been raking me over the coals. A follow up on those blank leads, you can fill in the blank. I still have doubts about that, right? I don't push as hard as I probably could if I was a real sales guy, and follow up, 5-10 times, I don't have it in me to do that. Plus I don't have the time really, right? I'm still trying to run my firm. I still deliver client services. So that's still, I guess it's a doubt still that I haven't overcome that yet. So that one I haven't overcome really. But it's good if I'm just getting the calls booked, then I don't have to worry, man, if I can close them, I don't have to be as worried about following up people. Because my theory is, look, they got to be interested. They have to have a proactive mindset. And I don't want to be trying to force things down people's throats, just not my style really. And Scott's working on me still. I'm trying to get over that, but given that I'm getting book calls, I'm closing calls, so I don't feel like I have to follow up as much, right? So therefore I can spend the 10 hours a month doing this and getting great results. So yeah.
What would you say to the audience that's listening to this, so that way this is educational, but for also lawyers or other professional service providers? What was the one thing that you learned versus those first 3 webinars that didn't convert versus the last that started converting calls as well as converting deals? What was the shift that you made?
You've seen firsthand, and you've seen the results from Vision Log. Now, I have a gift for you. If you want to experience these same results for your B2B consultancy, agency, or services business, then go ahead and click the link below. Find a time, schedule a time with our team, and we're going to walk you through exactly how you can apply this end-to-end system for your business. Now, Scott, I didn't watch this video for you to pitch me a sales call. It's much more than that. We're going to walk you through everything that we've learned, whether it's legal offers, consultancy offers, B2B tech offers, everything that we've learned after running 1,041 webinars since January 2025. Now, we've uploaded this into an AI brain so that we can go AI native. But what does that mean for you? It's like, sounds great, Scott. I don't give a shit. Fair enough. What does that mean for you? We are going to be able to take all that data and look at all the winning campaigns and for offers similar to yours, and then apply that directly to your business. Consultants used to charge $10,000, $15,000 for this, and it would take them 8 to 10 hours of time. They'd need to look at their previous client data. They would need to look at their past results, study their past results, and study their past experiences just to present you a fancy slide deck. We are including that. This is our gift from us to you from watching this video and for you booking time to speak with our team. Let's get back to the video.
Well, I think the help of you guys, Quantum Scale and the copy, right? The copyright, trying to get, it's like it's funnel, obviously. So for every step of the way, we need to get people on the calendar. We need them to accept, right? We need them to show up. And all of that's backed up by automated email touches, right? Touches to the potential webinar person. So I think working with Scott, I forget my copyright guy's name, but him, we increased percentages across the board, right? Of the people who show up, who say they're going to show up, who actually shows up, and we've been tweaking the process every step of the way. So it's we're iterating. And I think all the iterations, including tweaking the webinar delivery and adding certain things, taking away certain ththings, everything's just being iterated, right? And that's thanks to the great help of Quantum Scale. I get spoon-fed this stuff, right? So it's been very easy. Obviously, you got to work on the delivery and get to the point where you can deliver a decent webinar. And I think we finally got to that point after, several, and just practice. Practice makes perfect, right?
Continuing to iterate on the webinars, continuing to just practice, refine. What would you say to any other attorneys who are on the fence or thinking about launching a webinar and whether it's right for their business?
You gotta be committed, just like anything, you're in business, you've been in business for any length of time, then it requires commitment. Even when things aren't going as planned or as well, having the end goal in mind, right? And working every day to get to that result. So it's like, like running your business. But I would say it does, especially in the beginning, it's a serious time commitment in the beginning. Scott asked me about how much am I spending now? I can say, if we're going to do 2 webinars, probably 10 hours a month. But, in the beginning, it was a significant amount of time. I want to say 20 hours a month to this included me practicing the webinar. So, I spent a lot of time practicing the webinar once we had the script down. And by the way, I didn't have to create the script, right? Scott and Quantum Scale team created the script. I just had to memorize it and deliver it in a way that it's not memorized, So it's coming off more spontaneous, if you will. But yeah, so if you're skeptical, might not be for you, right? Because, you got to believe, and you have to believe that it would work for your particular practice, and then you got to jump in, commit, and see it through. So, that's all I could say.
So you said that currently just running the webinars takes about an hour and a half of your time per webinar, but then the 10 hours a month, is that dedicated to follow-up and sales calls as well?
Correct. That's where the balance of it comes in. So it's like the pure marketing sales effort for this particular vehicle for marketing, to me, is well worth it. Of course, it's going to depend on your own model and the price point for what you're trying to sell. Because the other way we get clients right now is Google Ads. We spend a ton of money on Google Ads. That's all relative, right? But for me, it's just, we got that dialed too. So fortunately, at one point, it was crazy money we were spending on Google Ads, on the marketing experts who are running the Google Ads, right? So we get clients through Google Ads. We've got that kind of figured out, which has been challenging, but we have it figured out, I think. And then we're working hard on SEO, right? So organic search. And so I definitely wanted to add this particular marketing vehicle to the mix to get this direct marketing, right? So, Google Ads, SEO is pull marketing, right? People, versus push marketing, right? They're coming to you because they see the ad, they're interested, And it makes the process to close the deal, I think, much simpler, right? SEO, somebody's coming to your website, they like what they see there, they pick up the phone and they email you. Kind of a pretty warm lead, pull marketing scenario. With this, I consider it push marketing, right? So this is where my hesitation on following up. I don't want to be pushing stuff on people, but that's what we're doing. We're getting the email list. We're pushing this webinar into their calendar. They view it. And so my point is, it's definitely something we needed to add to the marketing mix for the overall success of growing Vision Law Corporation, And so I think it's nifty that we added this. It was a good move.
And do you feel that webinars are a good tool, that even though it's push marketing, that the leads are almost like whole leads where they show up on the call, they're ready to buy? What would you speak to
I should have said that.
Quality of the leads?
I should have said that. So because I was thinking that and I didn't articulate it. To draw a black and white distinction, yes, it's push marketing, but the leads are pretty warm. By the time they get to watch the webinar, and if they're going to book a call with me, that's a pretty warm lead at that point for a very niche mindset. Remember, it's proactive. 95% of business owners out there are not proactive. So I suspect all the if we got 40 people show up on the masterclass, the webinar, and 10 people book calls, right? Which is a pretty high percentage. But, the other 30 out of the 40, right? They're all reactive mindset. They're not sold because they don't see the value in preventing the problem in the first place. I believe that's another reason I don't want to force them, right? Because if they don't see that, I'm not here to, I don't have the time to convince somebody of what they don't already understand they need, right? And that's the point of the webinar. Is we spend a lot of time trying to get people to understand the name of the game. If you're talking about employment law and you're representing businesses, is avoid the lawsuit in the first place, right? Because once you've been sued, you've already lost. Okay, and that's the message we put on the webinar, and we attract the people who want to be attracted, if you will, and it's a very warm lead at that point. That's why we can close, it's the overall package, but that's how we can close with a good percentage at the end.
Well, Scott, I really appreciate you jumping on a call and sharing your experience with us today. Is there anything else that you want to add that you thought was really valuable that could also help other attorneys watching this or attorneys that they're marketing?
No, we addressed it all. It's a system. Quantum Scale has it, I hope. And it was seamless for me to convert their system to my application. And we covered everything, from how it works to how great it is to the results. So,
well, appreciate you hopping on. And those of you that are watching, see you soon on the other side.
Alrighty. Thanks, Scott.
Thank you.
Congratulations, you stuck through the end. Now I have another bonus for you. Most marketing doesn't work for law firms. And here's the harsh reality that most make money guru bros and agency bros won't tell you, nor do they have the experience or data to be able to explain concisely how law firms need a completely different approach from local businesses or other types of businesses. And the first thing you need to understand is that there are two types of offers. There are greed offers and there are fear offers. All legal offers are fear offers. And this changes everything in the strategy. It changes the copywriting and how you speak to the buying psychology. It changes the type of presentation and story structure that you need to tell in your marketing. And any agency that doesn't know this will fail. I guarantee it. And the first thing you have to look at is the copywriting. It has to inspire safety. Now, Scott, that sounds great, but this is still theoretical. What is it that you actually mean by this? Well, if you want to learn the exact strategy, the exact playbook that we used for Vision Law, everything from the copywriting down to the story structures, and then how law firms can apply that, then go ahead and click the video here. And I'll walk you through it step by step and everything, soup to nuts, so that you can apply that in your marketing. And if you're hiring an agency, you can stress test them and call them on their bullshit. That said, I'll see you on the next video.